I've been in the data space for a long time, and I've been doing my sort of running my own data agency or consultancy for the last 10 years. I'm on my third one now, B Data Solutions. And I've got my team, my team's quite big now. We're about 40 odd people. They sort of run independently. I've got leads who do things, which means that I find myself not having to do a lot of the delivery or not get involved in a lot of the delivery. Obviously, there are times when I am involved in delivery, and I enjoy it sometimes, especially when we're asked to build sort of very advanced sort of data science models, predictive or AI models. I love to get involved, but most of the time, apart from doing the admin stuff, I'm not actually involved in the delivery. Now that led me to think about what can I do with that extra capacity and time that I have. And obviously, I do a lot of mentoring. I also do a lot of sort of charitable work. But I wanted to do something that would keep my knowledge, refreshed or improve my knowledge. Do something that will increase my knowledge, that will, make me a better a data professional. And so I was looking around, and I've sort of spoken to quite a few people, and some of those people have actually mentioned what now is quite common, which is fractional roles. And that is where, an organization may not be big enough or may not want a full-time chief data officer or chief data and AI officer, but they would like someone, on a fractional basis. So it could be like 1 day a week, 1 day a month, 2 days a month, whatever it is, to provide them with that expertise, oversight and leadership, but not necessarily need them to be part of the full-time team. Now, 2 reasons for that. One is they don't have a need for it. The second is they probably can't afford it. They're not big enough to warrant a full-time chief data and analytics or chief data and AI officer. So what they're looking for is someone who can potentially provide the strategy, governance oversight, and the direction in which the organization should move with the utilization or leveraging of data. But they want all of that without hiring a full-time chief data officer. Someone actually framed it as leadership as a service, right? So, a bit like software as a service on demand when you need it. But the more I thought about it, the more I thought it works if you can have a very good structured relationship with your clients. And the reason I say that is because what you don't want to say to a company, for example, is, I'm happy to do 1 day a week, and then they randomly call you. They go, oh, we need you for this on a Monday, we need you for this on a Tuesday, we need you for this on a Wednesday. That's fine if you only got 1 client, you can just flip around. But what if you've got 3 or 4 clients and you've given them all 1 day a week, and suddenly you're going to have clashes? One of the clients might want you to be on a meeting, and another client last minute goes, look, we've got a real urgency, we need you on a meeting as well. How do you manage that? So in theory, the fractional role sounds good, but I think it needs very much a good structured relationship with all of your clients and clear expectations set up front. So, putting my agency or my consultancy hat on, I was thinking, if I was to do this, obviously I've got commitments to my company, but actually that commitment's wouldn't actually impact me being a fractional chief data officer. And the reason it wouldn't impact me is because most of my engineering or most of my team is based out in Dhaka in Bangladesh. So I could actually wake up early, which I do, and I could have all my meetings with them and all my internal meetings before 9 a.m. I mean, their office hours start in the UK 5 a.m. So they're already up and running by the time I wake up, and then I could have all my meetings early on. Like I said, I don't really get involved in any delivery, but I do have some client meetings for B Data, which are usually quite planned and they're in the diary, so I know when they happen. So if I was to become a fractional chief data officer, I would have to then set expectation with my client and say, look, I'm happy to do 1 day a week or whatever, 1 day a month, so forth. But I would need 24 hours, 48 hours notice before I could attend a meeting. I could only do last minute meetings if I don't have anything planned, so therefore expect me to decline any last minute meetings if I don't get the prerequisite notification. I would also want to put regular meetings in the diary with them, so I would probably say something like, look, Monday mornings, if let's say it's 1 day a week, I would say, look, let's reserve Monday mornings or Tuesday mornings, whatever, but half a day potentially or a couple of hours where we can have a regular slot where we can discuss things and get things going, and I could potentially have regular meetings with the leadership team in the organization and also the leadership of the data team as well. And then I might say, look, and then I'm happy to, have ad hoc meetings. But like I said, if you can give me at least 48 hours notice, unless of course my diary is free, then I'm happy to accept. The other thing that I also was thinking about is that I do quite a few trips to go and see the Bangladesh team, or sometimes I actually have client meetings where I do client trips abroad, and how would I fit in my fractional role. And again, I thought that's not too bad, okay, as long as you're not in a time zone where the client wants like a meeting that's really late for you or too early for you. As long as you can manage that, I think it'll be the same as whether you're in the same country or not. You can manage that as long as, again, like you'd have scheduled meetings, and you just got to make sure the client appreciates that you can't accept last minute meetings, because if your diary is booked. So the fractional role is something that, if you are a data leader and whether you are running a data consultancy like I am or not, might be worth thinking about, rather than think about being a freelancer where you get contracts and do something for a period of time and then step away and then do another contract and step away. Whether you could build up a portfolio of fractional roles across 3, 4, maybe 5 companies where you're able to advise them, and also by working across multiple companies, you can bring in sort of knowledge and expertise from different domains to each of your clients. But also for you, it increases your opportunity to learn, because you're experiencing different things. You're experiencing challenges and scenarios within different types of organizations that will help you become a better and more respected data leader.